installment of the Link to the Past Spring Standard Tournament Randomizer Tournament. I am Buckshabu24, and with me is my co-commentator Virtua Cat. How are you doing this evening?
Hello, doing great.
It looks like these runners are kicking off right away. Ruble picking up a mushroom first. This match is Ruble versus Doomtap, round 1 match.
I've seen Ruble race a couple times. They seem pretty good. I've not seen Doomtap, but really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it should be an interesting race. So since this is a standard race, both runners are going to have to start with the usual standard escape sequence, but standard has been changed recently, or at least a variant has been made in which you will get a random weapon from Uncle here. It may not be the sword. So in this case, we have Fire Rod to use.
Yeah, they'll make this go pretty quick for them. They're probably going to pick up these magic pots here. Then,
Mire.
Oh yeah, they're going to be using that later on too. In case anybody's not seen a randomizer before, this is Link to the Past, and the goal is, like always, get 7 crystals, get to Ganon's Tower, kill Aghanim at the top of it, and then kill Ganon. However, all the item locations in the game are randomized. That includes dungeon items. So where you may find the big key in Eastern Palace, you might find the map there. You may find a hookshot there. Going even further, the dungeon rewards, so pendants and crystals, are randomized as well. You may see 3 pendants in the Dark World. You may see 3 crystals in the Light World. You just got to get the 7 crystals, get to Ganon's Tower, and finish the game from there.
Red Boomerang, our first item in Escape. For player sprites here, Ruble is using Squirtle from Pokemon. Doomtap is using, I forget what this pink variant of Link is called.
Pink Ribbon Link is what I use as well.
Okay. And if there is confusion, this is any percent, so it's basically just first to finish the game. You don't need all items or all pickups. Fire Rod Escape, though, since everything torches and dies in one hit typically to Fire Rod if it's vulnerable to it, makes this relatively simple. The worry is not running out of magic.
Yeah, I don't think there's even the ball and chain guard that they're getting ready to come up to only takes 1 hit from Fire Rod.
Well, even then, depending on how much magic they want to save for the upcoming rat that they'll have to kill, they may just kill him with pots like normal. It's only 1 more hit. Yeah, Ruble opting to actually kill the guard. And then shoot him.
Oh, and there's a sword, so go hog wild with your magic, boys.
Yeah, now they're fine. Now they can just do whatever the heck they want and can get through the rest of Escape with just the sword if needed.
Now they're both probably looking for a bomb to drop off of an enemy. There is 1 bombable wall in at the backside of the sewers that we want to see them get a bomb to go through. There'll be 3 chests in there, and they cannot get back there unless they get glove later on.
Yeah, they would like to take care of this particular item on the first trip, if at all possible. Just save some time.
They can go back, but it involves going all the way through Hyrule Castle again.
Or having the gloves to get to the back, which they don't have yet, so again, they just want to take care of it. There's a good chance that these 2 will be attacking King's Guards and Rats looking for bomb drops. Maybe even some of the rope. And something also that is unique to Standard, if you do not have the lamp for this opening Escape sequence, when you get to the back part of Escape, you will have a cone of light around you, but only for Escape. So as soon as you leave Escape, you need to find that lamp again.
Yeah, that'll make places like Eastern Palace and the Death Mountain a little bit harder to get through, but these racers should have no problem going through at least those dark rooms.
Yeah.
So we got the map and the crossroom chest. That means sanctuary chest is going to have something in it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ruble got his bomb. Got a 4-drop.
So yeah, Doomtap's still hoping to find the bomb. Full magic's nice. But he really wants a bomb.
He's going to skip it.
Yep, Doom's just gonna move on. Ruble's gonna get his items though.
We'll see if that was a good play or not.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Much of nothing.
Yeah, I guess he's fine for now then. He's gonna be thinking about it, but he's fine for now. And then we have an item over here as well in Sanctuary. Mirror. Hey, well, actually, no, you can't use that right now. Okay, well, you can, but man, that's inconvenient. So I guess Doom's gonna check the south part first.
I've seen people mirror out of Sanctuary after a saving quit, but just this one situation, you cannot use it for that.
Yeah, you'd think so, because almost every other time that is the case, but no, not this time. You have to actually set that entrance, and it's only set to that entrance as a save and quit. We got our map check. That was Crystal 6 at Eastern, a Crystal at Desert, and I believe that was a red pendant up at Hera.
So these racers are going to be racing on pretty much the exact same seed. The only slight difference is between this and a standard seed of Zelda is, aside from the random items, there are going to be some things like Crystals 5 and 6. Those are required to get the big bomb at the bomb shop to open up the Pyramid Fairy. And then if you want to get the item from Sahasrara, you do need the green pendant and all 3 pendants to get the item on the Master Sword pedestal.
Well, Aga's not going to be required for Lumberjack Cave. There are mere rupees in there. Oh, my mistake. It's green pendant up at Hera. And Race Game had bombs, so Doomtap opted to ignore that.
He's poor in both bombs and rupees. He can't even buy rupee or bombs at this point.
And Ruble found the bomb expansion in older versions of the randomizer that would give you bombs, not in this version. Not in most recent versions. Oh, there's the cape.
Magic cape for Ruble. He said Aghanim was not required for the lich, but
he might be required for Dark World.
Cape.
We might need it for Dark World or right side access. And Doomtap cashes in his 1 bomb and doesn't have enough to buy more, so now he's going to be hunting. Little known thing, if you have a bomb, you can go to a small little shack in the bottom left corner of the town here and get some bombs. They're under pots, so it's a little time consuming, but it's a way to save money and time.
Oh, there's the hammer.
That's a nice find.
So they're looking for a Moon Pearl.
Just need gloves for Dark World access and the bottle. Sick kids on the table.
I commentated a race last night that had both sets of gloves in Hide Cave. So it is possible that they still need to kill Aga.
Squirrel use Iron Defense. And Protect.
There goes Doomtap buying some bombs.
Yep. He needs those, no question about it. Ruble found a nice little money pickup in the back of the Blind Hut as well. Cover his expenses for the remainder of the town.
They're still going to want to get, still need probably around 600 plus rupees total to get through Zora and the Dark Palace of Darkness. So they do want to pick up more and more rupees as time goes on.
There's a lot you need rupees for. The dig game, the chest game, the pyramid bomb, and aforementioned stuff you just mentioned too. We're gonna go pick up those nice items that Doomtap just found. And on his way, he can also talk to the bottle vendor. Doomtap does not have the money. Bomb expansion.
No, they did get a B. They could release that at the bottle vendor and get 100 rupees that way.
True. I think it has to be a good B for that much, though. Either way, Ruble opting not to give him the B. And Doomtap not gonna go clean up some of his other stuff, while Ruble decides to just stock up on bombs, make sure he doesn't have to worry about that for a while. I agree with that play. Just anytime you can keep from having to worry about your bomb count is a good time.
Ruble's checking the backside of the tavern. Not going to go talk to cross product up front.
And only 20 rupees in the back. So since Doom came from the bottom, he needs to go up top now into the actual forest. Ruble, I imagine, after seeing both what's in the library, which was just money, and after seeing the bombs at Ray's game, will likely just save quit and go for the south check. So, usual, typical start here. Nothing too important, I guess. Oh, he went back up to Sanctuary.
Yeah, not the. I would have gone down into check out Dam, check out Mini Moldworm Cave.
I think I know what he's doing, though, given where he is going. He is actually going to farm more rupees with the Houlihan strat.
Oh, yep. Houlihan room is basically kind of like a developer room where sort of like a wrong warp room, and there's 200 rupees, 250 down here.
It's 9 sets of 5, 45 rupees times 5. So 225 rupees, I believe.
You just average out the two that I said, and you're good.
Yep.
Doomtap going to go check out the dam down here.
Yeah, both runners are going down to the dam at this point. They've kind of synced up again. Ruble will just want extra money, because if he does find more down here in the checks he's doing, he can go straight to Zora. Take care of all those checks.
Doing mirror glitch to get through those blocks. If you activate the mirror as you're pushing a push block in a non-dungeon, you'll just make that block disappear.
Yeah, it's a weird glitch that's only present in the version 1.0 ROM of the JP version of the game, which is what the randomizer runs off of.
My first time I ever tried to do a randomizer, I accidentally tried to use the mirror glitch in the back of Swamp and ported it back out.
Back to the front you go.
I just quit at that point and played again the next day.
I think I've made that mistake at other points in the seed too. I think I don't actually remember. I may have done it in GT, right at the end. Yeah, definitely possible. Doomtap having issues locking onto this Moldorm with his fire rod.
Ruble using sword and bombs, thinking he could get both Mini Moldworm on the left with bombs, and missed them both.
No, but he does get another bomb drop. So what do we have? More small amounts of money, another heart piece, and more small amounts of money and another heart piece.
A lot of red.
Yeah, a lot of red, and one of our characters is blue. There's still Ice Rod Cave, and by technicality, there's a lot of other flipper locations they can check with fake flippers.
They have an Impearl, so they can check the ferry as well using water walking.
Yeah.
That will not be in Logic. Zora would, but the two items at the waterfall chest would not.
On the contrary, Zora is not in Logic, because we actually don't have a Power Glove.
Oh, that is true.
So Zora is technically not in sequence until we have that or the flippers.
I'm so used to having a Power Glove early.
Yeah, it's one of those rare instances. And we still don't have one. And Doomtap and Ruble both knowing that Zora is out of sequence are just going to safe quit.
And
I guess we're going to Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern, Sauce, and Agata are really the only other places to check.
Yep, both going to the right. The big difference being that Ruble's pockets are much more thickly lined than Doomtap's. Squirrel, where do you even keep your wallet? I imagine probably in his shell, but even then, no pockets in a turtle.
We were nearly frame for frame there for a second.
Yeah. So they're probably just going to get the 6 items that are within the eastern area. If something big pops up, someone might move.
Hey, there's Master.
Oh,
and
okay,
gloves.
good. That was Aga, maybe, and then Aga dodge. And since they have hammer, Aga's just straight dead. They can access both sides.
Yeah, they're both very happy about fighting gloves there.
Yeah, Doomtap realizing this as well is also going to leave. It looks like both have different ideas of where to start.
Doom is probably heading over to check those 3 back chests that he missed earlier.
Yeah, that might be a thing he does first, if he remembers, but no, it looks like he's
Nope.
not.
Is he going up to Death Mountain?
Maybe. Although no lamp means it's off sequence. Ruble, meanwhile, is checking the South Dark World.
We are going to be seeing some hype cave, so let's get that hype going in the chat.
Yeah, still debate as to whether or not this is actually hype, though. Doesn't always pan out that way. And when you start with that, you can understand why. But he got a bug net, a little bit of another small heart, and I think enough money to fairly round out what he needs for the remainder of the seed. So that was okay, but that's not the hype you're usually looking for in Hype Cave.
That looks like we'll probably go check the Stick Boy, and then route back over to Dark Kakariko. And Doomtap getting another small piece of heart from the old man.
Yeah. He only has one other location on the mountain he can access, and it's Spectacle Rock. I believe Ruble just found the lamp on Stumpy. Indeed, he did. So that's a nice find. And with the Mire, he can check some of these other Mire locations a little earlier than normal. Found some bombs, gonna take them.
I did not get a chance to see what was in Spectacle Rock, but Doomtap is just skipping it, so
it was
does
a
not
10
seem to
arrow
be much.
expansion. Oh no, he can access right side. I'm wrong. T-Rock and Ice are our other 2 pendants. Pod is the other important crystal. So the Pendant Eastern combo is the get into Pyramid Fairy combo. And Doomtap just decided to take a dip into Hera quickly.
He's happy to see that big key there.
Yeah, big key right away. Great find.
See how many digs it takes to get to the center of the dig game?
Now let's find out.
Just 10 bombs.
Yeah, it looks like it was 22 digs. And Doomtap found a big heart container in the second chest in Hera.
Yeah, we saw Torarok as pendant, man. I like that is always such a good sign, bad sign. I love having Torarok be non-necessary, but it being a pendant also means you might just have to dip Torarok.
Yeah. Conversely, it also means that we need the flute for this seed, because Mire is a crystal. That sometimes just ends up being a commodity item because it's only really needed for Misery Mire. But in this instance, it is a required item. That's perfect positioning for that bomb jump for Doomtap. Beautiful.
We got the map, so he can tell where he needs to go now in the Tower of Hera.
Yep. Unfortunately, either Moldorm has his item or it's in the basement. The other item is the key. He can hope it's locked itself in the basement. That is something that the logic can do now. Is if a key is needed only to get to the item behind it, the key itself can be locked in there.
Yeah, you'll see that in the big spike room in Skullwoods and the Harmless Hallway in Pod a lot.
You can also see it in the Thieves Town big chest occasionally because, again, one item needed. Doomtap got trolled armed. And Ruble is going into Skullwoods, which throughout the various versions of Randomizer gets the nickname of Value Woods occasionally, because there's typically a lot you can find in there because you don't need a lot of progression items to go into Skullwoods. You actually need none.
He can finish Skullwoods with what he's got.
Yes, he can, and it is a crystal. He will probably do that. There's the big key for Ruble. He's definitely going to go check that big chest now. And Doomtap found the small key. Does he want to go to the basement? That is the question. Ruble does a nice bomb jump across the Skullwoods pits and finds a compass.
Doom just goes right back in. Gonna play a little waiting game over here for him.
Yep. And Ruble's gonna check the other item back here before the back part with Mothula. And with Kane Smart, I can subvert this room entirely. Always feels nice when you can use that block-making Kane to cheat various pressure puzzles. And map. Well, this is 2 seasons in a row I've commentated where the back 2 chests had the items.
Doomtap missed the invisibility block thing, and he's now just sniping.
Now he's got to keep himself from getting damaged.
Those blocks can hurt. They do 1 heart of damage each.
Yeah, it's flat 1 heart too. Doesn't matter what mail you have. But he will get his item and a magic refill. Item not being worth his time at all. Let's hope that green pendant pays out.
Yeah, he's going to really be wanting something like Boots or Hookshot off of that.
Boots would be vanilla, funny enough. And 50 rupees was the first item in Skull. Ruble's gonna go kill Moth to get the second. Doomtap gonna check the island item. It is an arrow expansion, not required. So now you can finally check right side.
Gonna check Spiral Cave here. It's just miserable to go through without Boots.
It gains the ever-popular Resident Sleeper Cave nickname occasionally because it is very slow and very tedious just to walk around here. Roll down to 4 hearts for Moth here, which is a little concerning. Especially with half a magic gauge.
Yeah, he has Cape if he needs it.
And a bee if he wants to use it. Mothula here is vulnerable to bees. Don't know why.
I think that would be the other way around.
Yeah. But Ruble does need to be careful, and Moth will not take damage if he's touching spikes, so really has to be careful now.
He's down to 1 heart. Oh, good kill, good kill.
Barely clenches it out. God.
Gets Quake for his trouble. Doomtap getting red mail over on the right side.
And a shovel, so fetch quest in his future. Good clear out for Ruble. Very early Moth kill for a non-5/6 crystal.
Doomtap getting some upgrades. Tempered Sword. Very happy to see that. 50 rupees and 20 rupees.
Yep. So it wasn't actually too much on the... Oh, no, there was a Tempered Sword. That's pretty nice then on the right side, at least. Tempered Sword is like the minimum damage threshold you want typically in any run. Because you do not want to do Master Sword, Silverless Ganon, if you can help it. And you'd rather not do Master Sword Ganon either, if you can help it. It's not that bad, it's just that Master Sword spins are the only way to hurt Ganon. Whereas with Tempered, you can just slash.
Doomtap going up into Dark World now. Ruble checking the Bounce Cave, deciding not to go grab that item.
Yeah.
We'll probably see him check Graveyard Ledge here in a second.
Yeah, that is a location that is very, very trolly in Randomizer. It is one of the worst. Not to mention, it's one of the worst because not everybody knows you can take this path that Ruble's taking through the graveyard to reach the ledge.
It's just a little bit out of the way to get to. It doesn't really route well with other items.
Yeah, and I imagine as soon as Ruble sees what this is, picking it up or not, he will say quit. That's a bow. Good find.
That is necessary to finish the game, and that is in a location that a lot of people leave for later in the game. So, very, very good find for Ruble.
Interestingly, that gives him full access to both Pod and Eastern.
Yeah, I would go do Pod, get out, and immediately mirror over into Eastern.
Yep, he can do either whenever he's ready, and he can check a Pyramid Fairy right afterwards. Probably wants to find a little bit more first, not to mention, since he is going back this way, he definitely wants to do Thieves Town. Or at least the Village of Outcasts around it.
Checking what's in the Sea House here real quick while Doomtap sets up his own bomb jump, and Ruble gets a life-giving potion, some red goo.
Yeah. Doomtap making his way through Skull, and is going to just take a death here to refill his health. I'm not sure if he went out that one exit he was planning on leaving through to reset his spawn point. He did not.
He did not. Ruble still not really finding much in Village of Outcasts, but let's see what the chest game has. Just Marrows.
Yeah. And into Thieves for his crystal he goes.
Thieves generally has had a lot of items in the last couple of patches as well. I'll get 4 items here in Thieves Town. We'll see what we can find.
Well, like Skull was, the only item you really need to do this dungeon's initial portions, or in this case the entire dungeon, is the hammer. Oh, there's flippers. So it's very easy to come in here early just to get items and clear the dungeon out entirely.
And if you know the script for the blind, that is a 100% doable fight. Blind takes the same amount of hits with pretty much every sword, so...
Every weapon, actually, because you can fight him with weird things such as the canes. And hammer, I think, will also do the same. But yeah, he is always a kind of just fixed fight. He will always take the same number of hits regardless of what you do, what you use. And he's a very pattern starting... He's a boss that starts with a very specific pattern. So it's also very easy to defeat him. Alright, looks like Doom is getting ready to go take on Moth as well. Tempered Sword makes Moth a lot easier, because it takes 4 hits with the Tempered Sword to kill it. Barring that Moth is not on spikes. So Doomtap will probably be fine using his magic throughout this area.
And Ruble going through that terrible conveyor belt hallway, making his way up to the top floor of Blind's dungeon.
Alright, Doom in the Moth.
Ruble picking up just a bomb upgrade.
It's always hard to tell whether Mothio is taking damage or not, but he did get the hits in nice and quick and clean. And gets his Quake for his troubles.
Yeah, I really hope that Doom heads over and checks out Graveyard soon.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of the least often checked locations in Rando. So, it may be some time before he gets that bow. And the sea will probably lead him in a lot of other directions too, so if he doesn't cross his mind, it may be a long time before he finds it. And it looks like the key has locked itself in the big chest.
Yeah, that's good for them.
And Ruble is gonna go take on Blind. Doomtap also not opting to grab the piece of heart, don't blame them. And he is actually going over there. Wow. I'm surprised. This is, like, again, a location that no one goes to.
Ruble takes down Blind without much trouble at all.
Now,
Gets 50 rupees for the bounty on that.
I think Ruble's got plenty of rupees at this point for the remainder of the game.
He just might be really greedy.
So Ruble's up gotten to 2 crystals in the first 30 minutes here. And now where does he go? Because there's actually a couple areas he can actually visit.
I would go over to the where you would normally flute to 5. I would go over there, go into Dark World from there, go up to Pod, and immediately do that and mirror out, go to Eastern and do that.
I think Ruble is doing that, but he's going to use this spawn point instead and check the pyramid on the way. And Doomtap finally goes to check the back of Escape. Now, he has not done these yet, and I don't know where he will go next.
Doomtap is making up some time just by having that Tempered Sword, though.
Yeah, he's able to kill things a little faster than Ruble, and that's because he made that trip up Death Mountain. But I imagine Ruble is attempting to hold off Death Mountain until he at least has the Titan's Mitts to check out the entire mountain. Especially since both the dungeons on the mountain are pendants. Any trips saved would be a blessing. So Ruble's gonna go bring Kiki over to the door. It doesn't really matter whether you do Pod or Eastern first in this instance. They'll both take you the same time regardless. It's a matter of preference, really, and convenience. He's gonna do Pod first.
Yeah, Dillbuck in chat makes a great point that it's really good that Doom did not have a bomb for the back of escape because he probably would not have gone over to check Pyramid or Ledge.
That is a good point. Maybe why he routed that in just as a convenience. And it looks like Pod, it was blocked without bow anyways, so in order to get through Pod, Doom would have had to have gone there at some point. You would need the bow anyways to finish this dungeon, but it would have locked him out from the start.
Yeah, Doom's going to be picking up his flippers here soon. He could have gone down to Swamp as well.
Yeah, we don't have Hookshot yet, so Swamp isn't the most enticing of options currently. But it is still an open option nonetheless. Gotta find some of those many pod keys now. Pod's got 6 of them, so they're in a lot of the chests in the dungeon. Like almost half of the chests in this dungeon are small keys.
And even then, if you just want to, if you want to go mode it, you only need 1, really.
Yep, you just need 1 to go mode. And you need the big key. Something that Ruble is looking for on top of other items. But still just small keys for now. And Doomtap is heading to the back part of Thieves Town now. Oh, there's Hookshot. Now we might do Swamp, but you typically do want to try and go mode that dungeon if at all possible, so it may still be a while.
Yeah,
But
it's not a fun dungeon to clear.
But it is 6 items. It's hard to pass up 6 items.
It's not necessarily that hard of a dungeon, but it's just long.
It's long and it's not
walking.
fun. Yeah, it's long and not fun to route without boots.
Even just getting into it requires mirroring in and out of Dark World.
Yeah. So Rule's gonna be coming up on a good number of chests here. He's got a total of 7 in this nearby vicinity he can open. And most of these are items since he has found a majority of the keys. In fact, that was the last one.
Full heart piece brings him up to, looks like
9
hearts.
They're doing pretty solid on health this seed. Wasn't the last seed I commentated. The runners were up to like 15 hearts, like within like an hour. We had so many heart containers. Rule will go into the pod maze now. I want to say he still doesn't have the big key, so it's in the maze here.
There's Ice Rod.
But Turtle Rock's appended. It's always when Turtle Rock's appended that you find that Ice Rod. Just more conveniently. It's like,
I feel like 7 out of 10 times it's the last item I need.
yeah, it's like, where, like in normal seeds, where the heck are you? In seeds where you don't need it, oh, you're here, okay. Also found a fire shield in the big chest. And okay, Helmasaur has the map, so he's just gonna go clear out the dungeon now. Doomtap on their way up to Blind.
We're gonna skip this room basically. Instead of pushing a statue, just going to drop a some area block on there.
Yep, another one of those instances where you can cheat a pressure block puzzle with the cane. It takes playing rando like this to realize just how much help that item can actually be. because it seems so rudimentary for a long time.
Yeah,
Doomtap
I mean,
finishing off blind pretty quickly also. Sorry, go ahead.
I think there's only 3 areas in the game that you really need it in vanilla. You need it to do to get through Mire, you need it to get through T-Rock, and you need it to just do that right side of G Tower. But in Rando, it's like a really, really helpful item to have throughout the entire game.
I think NMG also does the Samaria strats that Rando does in the top floors of GT, so there's that as well. Some of my favorite stuff to watch and do is with that particular cane in those rooms.
The Wizard rooms.
Yeah.
I felt so slick the first time I pulled that off. It was a really good feeling.
Alright, Ruble at Helm. With a Master Sword and no silvers, it's going to take a good while to kill Helm. The mask is 17 hits, that's not the problem, but Helm's head's going to be 8 hits whether he uses a bow or the Master Sword, so I imagine he's just going to try and use the hammer, because that's also 4 hits. It's just a little hard with the hitbox. It is not the hammer button. But down it goes.
Then I would be shocked if he didn't just mirror out once he comes out and just go directly to Eastern.
Oh, he will for sure. No question about that. There is no reason to make another trip over here to do Eastern. You're going to do this all in one trip and not have to come back to this corner of the Dark World again. Except maybe for Catfish.
Yeah, Catfish is another one of those spots that, like, it's a little bit difficult to route, but whenever you're searching for something, it usually tends to be there.
Yep. Doomtap now getting himself caught up on the southern Dark World locations that Ruble took care of a while ago. While Ruble is our first runner to dip Eastern. It's a good thing both of us actually did leave after they found the Dark World access, because they can now just do this nice little pair up with the dungeons. And that is a big key immediately. Nice find.
I would like to ask our chat to be nice to the runners. I'm not going to call anybody out in particular, but yeah, be nice.
It's probably all in good fun. Doom remembering to check the shovel location, but it was just a piece of heart. So the shovel is a dead end. No one has turned into the mushroom yet. I know that much. So that's also on the table still.
The very first item they got in the game and has not been turned in.
Yeah, and Doomtap also has a green pendant that he has not turned in. So I wonder when he'll get to that.
He'll probably just mirror out in the hedge maze and just turn it in real quick.
I just wonder if he'll actually remember that. Ruble... Was that the last? No, it was second to last. He wouldn't be going to the right otherwise.
Doom's gonna go check Pyramid real quick.
Yep. I think Ruble... Did he check this actually? I don't actually remember.
I don't think he did.
Well, it could have something pretty nice on it. It's a very easy to access location. Just a shield. And given Ruble's on fire shield, having found that in Pod, he did not come over here for this. So Doomtap will have a mirror shield by the time he's done with Pod, which is nice, but it's nicer when you have to do T-Rock. We don't have to do T-Rock. Looks like Armos is also not going to have any... actually, does he have an item? No, I don't think he has an item at this point. I think he has a dungeon item. So this is also just going to be for the crystal that's ending here. Just gonna take care of the Igor for his key and head upstairs. And Doomtap is on his way over the pod. Will he turn in the pendant? Looks like it.
Yeah, he's already got the mirror out. And we'll see what Sasa has to give him.
This will be big if it's actually substantial.
Nope.
No, not even close. Oh well. That unfortunately means Doomtap sank a trip into Hera for pretty much no reason at all. Pedestal would be a redeemable factor there. And technically speaking, that is actually available.
The same item that he got from turning in a green pendant, Ruble got as a drop off of a Stalfos.
Yep. Tells you just how bad that was. Ruble did, I believe, mess up the typical NMG execution for the Armos Knights, but still got through the fight pretty quickly.
Then Doom's going to head into pod. Thankfully, he has a mirror, so it's going to go pretty fast for him.
But yeah, I will point out there again, any other items we still need could actually be on the pedestal. It is available to us.
They may possibly need boots for desert.
But desert's a crystal, so... Because it's Hera, Ice, and Turtle Rock. Those don't need... Those just need the Fire Rod, or in the case of Hera, it's a Fire Source.
Oh, no, I was saying that boots could possibly be on pedestal.
Oh, they could be. Yes, if you need them for desert, the boots could be on the pedestal. My bad. I think Ruble is actually going to go do Swamp. And it looks like Doomtap also decided to go do Eastern before Pod. Doesn't really make a difference. Just whatever's more convenient for you. Swamp and its 6 items, though, you can't resist that typically, and that's what Ruble's going here for. Especially since I don't think he actually has much other locations he can go. He can dip Ice, but he'd rather not.
And nobody's checked Agina yet either.
Yeah, Gina's open. And there's Catfish, but that's way out of the way now. There's the Mushroom, but you don't want to make that trip yet. You might do that along with Catfish, but...
There's Zora, Waterfall, and Ledge.
Oh yeah, no one actually did that yet, did they? I forgot no one fake flippered because of lack of money.
But we'll see what Ruble finds over here in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a little slow, lacking boots, but there's a good chance something that's required is within the dungeon's confines here. Oh, he's up to 12 heart containers now, at least. That's pretty safe at this point. He doesn't really need any more health. Doom heading to the back to get the heart container that was in the back portion of Eastern Palace. And
Ruble's just turning the water on here, getting ready to go see what's in the big hookshot room.
And since he does have hookshot coming into this dungeon, he needs to be careful not to flood that key. And it's a very common thing you can do because typically you get the hookshot in this dungeon. It would be impossible to flood the particular key in question. But because you can get this key early, if you turn on the water switch, at least to the left side of the dungeon, prior to picking up the key, you will flood it, you will have to leave the dungeon, go a screen over so the water resets, and then you will have to drain the water from the entrance again, along with any other switches you pulled in the dungeon. Flooding that key is one of the biggest time sinks you can do in an already time sink dungeon. Alright, Ruble is going to go to that switch, but he needs to remember not to flood the key. And he does.
He's just moving down. Gonna go pick up the key, move back up, flood it,
Yeah, this
and
is
then loop
typically
back around.
this is typically how people will get their key for left side. They'll take that key, turn off the switch for the quick access, grab the key, throw the switch, and then flip the blocks back on because you need those down for one of the chests on the left side. Doomtap almost got the NMG set up. I think he's a little off position. He's got one shot left on both Armos, and now this guy's gonna have 3. Still, solid fight. And yeah, looking at chat there, that is correct. We just need the flute, the boots, flute and Titan's are the required items. Boots and another medallion are tentative. Problem is that other than Titan's bits, those items can be just about anywhere. Alright, Ruble checking left side. Another big heart container, and that was sank heart because it filled his health up to full. And another heart piece. So nothing in Swamp at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Titans cannot be in either Ice, Mire, or T-Rock.
Yeah, it just occurred to me that means Ice wasn't actually on the table because they needed the mitts. So, where are the mitts?
Probably a nice golden pair of gloves for sale from Zora.
Yeah, it is possible. Like, the flipper path is the big thing. Oh, no big key yet, so he's gonna just go to the back and hope he doesn't have to come back in for that. If he counts his items, he'll know for sure whether or not there's anything important in that big chest. And depending on where he finds the big key, he may choose to walk back upstairs.
Now, this is the one room where you cannot use the Cannon Samaria to pressure plate a switch. It'll just disappear when you come back over and try to go through the door.
Yeah, the Canis Maria block despawns as soon as it is taken off screen, so you cannot use it in that room. It's Doomtap now working on Pod, having taken care of Eastern. And Ruble finds the big key in the room that would be most convenient to go back upstairs. He is going to make the trip. Will he get glitch staircased?
Yeah.
Yes, he will. This particular staircase, the first time you go up it, likes to suck you back down. It's something about a misposition for the actual game itself. And as such, it means you have to typically take the stairs twice.
Just getting extra rep on the stairs then.
Yeah, Squirrel's getting his workout for the day. And he's got 2 chests left to open. I have not been counting dungeon items or normal items, though, so I don't know if there's anything left. Or if there's, like, one of each left. Based on the fact that Ruble's opening this up, yeah, there was still at least something. Not worth anything again, though. Wow, Swap really was barren.
Yeah, not really a single decent item in there.
It actually means if Doomtap decides to put off Swamp Palace, he may be able to skip a majority of it, depending on when he decides to dip it. Because if he go-modes this dungeon, it's a considerable time difference from what Ruble's currently doing.
Because they can't do anything in the last 3 dungeons. They can't do the Smith or the Hammer Pegs. They can't do Purple Chest. So yeah, you're looking at Desert or Zora area, basically.
I think it's Agina or the Flipper Path, because we can't actually get into Desert still. And the Pyramid Cave area, I forgot about that one. In fact, the mitts can be in the Pyramid, so I'm surprised Ruble's not checked that yet. Tried to go for the quick kill on Argus. 2 fire rush shots and a sword spin. I think it's typically with Tempered Sword, though, will kill Argus outright. Argus is vulnerable to all kinds of weapons. You can hit him with pretty much anything and he will take damage. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but there are a lot of things that can damage Argus. So Ruble is probably also considering Death Mountain because, again, he still has not gone up Death Mountain.
Well, he is not. Yeah, looks like we're going to see him go do the Pyramid Bomb.
Yeah, he's just going to wrap that in right after Swamp, which is a pretty solid idea. And since he hasn't checked Pyramid either, he'll get that item check as well.
Decide if he wants the Riot Shield or not.
Yep, so he's going to pay his 100 rupees and grab this bomb. Doomtap, meanwhile, has cleared out, I believe, most of the dungeon at this point. It just has Helmasaur left. So he's going to go take care of that, and he'll be done with this dungeon as well. We're getting to the point where the main difference is one runner having done Swamp and the other having done Death Mountain and Hera.
Yeah, they've had a pretty similar routing aside from that.
Yep, so Ruble's going to see his Riot Shield.
Yeah, he's going to grab it.
Yep, he is going to get his wide guard, so to speak.
And we'll see what's in these two chests in here.
I imagine something. It was very easy to get here.
Nope.
Okay, maybe not. Alright, Agina, Flipper's Path. Take your pick, Ruble.
I would go up to Catfish and then Mire from there.
I actually would do something slightly different. I would go do Hobo before the Catfish. I suppose he's gonna do the check the island with the Hobo, though.
He can drop off his mushroom too.
Yeah, so he is gonna go check Catfish.
If Boots were hiding behind that mushroom the entire time,
Or
the first item they got in the game.
So let's see. What was the sea trying to hand them from the very beginning? A rain check for 5 bomb upgrade. No, thank you.
Well, we'll see what Catfish and Zora both have.
Doomtap, meanwhile, killing Helm very quickly after the hammer portion with the Tempered Sword, only taking a spin and 2 slashes to kill it. And now he is done with the Pod Eastern combo. Alright, Ruble checking Catfish. This guy loves to hide stuff when you really need it. Not today.
20 rupees.
And now to check some of the other flipper-based locations nearby.
Oh, there's
there
the
they are. There's the mitts. That opens up pretty much the remainder of locations to Ruble. The only area he can't reach now is Mire.
Just gonna go ahead and check out Zora and the Zora ledge while he's up here.
Yep. 20 on the ledge. Zora himself could still have something, though. I am actually wondering if he'll actually check the island in Hobo after this, because he does have access to a lot of things now. Although, when I say a lot of things, I mean Dark Death Mountain and 2 pendant dungeons, so, yeah. And Zora was once again a rip-off artist.
I mean, at this point, Flute can be literally anywhere aside from Mire.
Yep, and it can be on ped, so that would be pretty bad. Turtle Rock could have it too. Ruble at this point, though, since he did save quit immediately after that, and he's going where he is, has to be going to Death Mountain. Has to.
It's like Doom is going to go ahead and clear out Swamp.
This unfortunately means he is not going to be saving himself any time compared to Ruble. They are both going to be full clearing this dungeon the slow way. Temperate Sword will give Doomtap a little bit of a quicker speed advantage in some retrospects, but it's going to take about the same time anyways.
I mean, it probably is the smart play, but it's just we know that there's not really anything there for him.
Yeah, it's the item dense play, which is why he's doing it. It's just that in this instance, the mitts were in a much more convenient location. One they could have checked as soon as having finished Thieves. Which would conveniently be the Dungeon of Vanilla where you get those mitts.
I mean, if they fake Flipper, they could have checked that as soon as they finished Kakariko.
This is a good point. With the Pearl, those mitts could have been gotten as early as Mini Molder and Caves out check. Because they were going to be down in that area. So they might be kicking themselves a little bit having found that. Or at least Ruble might be having found that where he has. Doomtap maybe once he finds it.
We'll see if Ruble decides to head into Hera. I'm a proponent of like going to Hera pretty much every time because it's so quick.
I think he's just going to do the south path. Or, no, he's thinking about something. Can they do Spike? Yeah, they can. That's in logic. So that's what he's doing. He'll do this, say quit, and then probably hook shot over the right side. He'll take care of every Death Mountain check at once, and then see whether or not he can actually enter T-Rock, probably.
And the book in Spike Cave.
That opens up Desert, and it gives us the ability to read what is on Pedestal. But that also opens up Ether Tablet.
Yeah, I would just go right back up.
Ruble says no, he'll come back later.
And I'd probably go up and go over to Hera, skip Hera, go check Tablet, and then go back down through Spiral Cave.
Yeah, I would have probably done that too in this particular instance, but it looks like he wants to try and pair Dark World up with it in a little bit of a simpler sense as well.
Yeah, he can check Bombo's Tablet as well. Since he has mitts now, he can do the entire Smith line too.
Yeah, mitts tends to block several locations off. Typically late game locations. Shovel. Red mail. We're as tanky as we can be, and we have to go digging at some point. And I say this, but Doomtap came up here at the beginning of the season. It's just been quite a while since he did so some of what's over here has slipped my mind.
I don't think there was terribly too much aside from the Tempered Sword and the Red Mail.
Yeah, but the Tempered Sword will really help Ruble. Definitely happy to find it. He will now go to the Super Bunny Cave. He does get the hook shot trick there.
Let's see what's in these two chests here.
Doomtap, meanwhile, is making his way through the left side of Swamp, trying to catch up. And having done most of these Death Mountain checks that Ruble's doing, he will make up at least a little bit of time once he's done. Empty bottle for Ruble. So that's our second bottle.
check, see what T-Rock needs to get in. Needs ether.
So Turok, not the answer.
It's bound to be a relief, at least for the time being.
Once you find ether, though, then it's not. Another heart container from heart pieces for Ruble. Some more money. Twice over. And magic powder, more fetch quests.
Alright, looks like we're gonna go see what's on ether tablets.
Yeah. Which makes sense. He wants to get this and he just wants to take care of Spiral. He just wants to finish the entire mountain now. His call whether or not he decides to dip into Hera, we know from Doomtap that it would be a mistake. At least as far as we know right now. If it's Pet Seed, then it's not a mistake. Uh-oh. Wait, that's vanilla. I just realized that. And he is going into Hera. And I think having gotten that, Ruble's deciding there's a good chance we're going to have to deal with Ped. I may as well just come in here. I wonder, though, if he'll do T-Rock.
Yeah, because it's a time sink to go back and check that pedestal and realize, oh, well, I need to go back up there again. Might as well. It's got 6 items or 5 items.
Yeah,
I'm counting Mimic Cave 6.
You
Mimic
basically,
Cave is part of T-Rock.
yeah, you basically decide: would you like to sink a lot of time going into T-Rock, which may or may not pay out with what you're looking for? Or do you take the time to go down the mountain to find out you had to do T-Rock anyways, thus taking another trip up the mountain? Ruble's done pretty good at this point in making it so that he has only taken one trip up Death Mountain. I imagine he may want to try and keep it that way. Doomtap is working on Argus here and takes him out, which catches him up for the most part to Ruble. Ruble's taking care of a couple other checks that Doomtap has not been able to, but yeah, he's got everything else.
Yeah, Doom needs to go up there and check the Zora area pretty much immediately.
And he's gonna also check. What is he doing over here?
He doesn't have book. He can't do anything over here.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna mirror and go check
Desert, yeah.
Ganon.
Oh, he does have the lamp. I wasn't sure if he did.
Well, he can't get in.
No, but he does have it. That's something I didn't realize. Wasn't marked on the tracker. Ledge bombs. And Ruble now has to decide whether he's going to the basement.
He's gonna be real sad here in about a minute and a half.
Yeah, Ruble's gonna be wasting his time here. This is new information from Doomtap, though. We don't know what's in Agina's cave. Just bomb the old man of general prosperity, or general proxy, because it's typical. Because yes, he just gave you another piece of heart again. Ruble trying to use the fire rod to get himself positioned on the blocks. Misses it as well.
Yeah, Fire Rod doesn't really give you the window that something like the boomerang would.
Okay, I think I know where Doomtap is going. Based on this. It's not the fastest route you could take to get there, but it looks like he's doing some flipper stuff in Ice Palace. Potentially. Definitely flipper stuff at least.
Yeah, he just needs to get those bits first to do Ice Palace.
Yeah, so let's see. Island, cart container.
He's going to check Hobo and then probably Whirlpool up to Zora.
Now, as a reminder, Ruble did not check Hobo. We don't actually know what Hobo has. And I think Ruble just took advantage of the mirror portal by holding up bomb to get by it. Pretty clever.
Oh, silver.
Silver arrows.
Why is he living under a bridge? He could have sold those.
It's like, hey guys, I'm too lazy to go kill Ganon. Could you go do it for me? Okay, thanks. Bye.
I don't know if we'll see Ruble check that.
Yeah, and that means he'll be going without those. Now, with the Tempered Sword, it's not that bad, but Silverless versus Silvers is a time difference that has made or broken races in the past. So it's concerning.
I mean, as good as the racers are in this tournament, like, even if it saves 2 minutes, that will be enough sometimes.
Yeah, Ruble also deciding not to go straight over to T-Rock. And Doomtap finally getting a hold of his mitts.
What a good play for Doomtap.
Oh, it just occurred to me, Ruble's actually up to 3 bottles. That was the B bottle and the Warple he also got. That puts Doom up to 2. I don't think he's gotten the 3rd one yet. Doomtap also gonna get his rip off. And Ruble, are you doing Smiths? I think that's what it looks like.
Yeah, we are still looking 100% for the flute. After that, we could be in go mode.
Yeah, as soon as someone finds flute, they're taking it to Mire and checking. But we may also need boots because neither of us checked desert yet.
And we could need bombos as well.
Yeah, if Mire requires bombos, then we will have to find that too.
And even if boots isn't required for desert, there is still the very small chance that is required for GT.
Yep. Always a small chance. I think Ruble, while he's here, is also probably going to go check the magic bat, because that is also a check that we have not found yet. Nope, nothing in the Hammer Peg Cave to write home about. I just noticed how quickly the Squirtle Sprite's tail moves back and forth when it's walking. He's really shaking that tail. Anyway, it looks like Doomtap is actually going to go do fake powder. Emptying his magic with a fire rod.
Oh, and we got some flute smiths.
Well, that was important, like absolutely important. So Ruble's going to go activate that as soon as he's done here. He can take the purple chest with him. Even though there's not much of a need to do that, really, you can still do it. So, for those who are unaware of how fake powder works, if you empty your magic bar and have the Cane of Samaria in your possession, if you try to use it, and when the sound that tells you can't use the item goes off, if you pause and switch to the mushroom, you will use powder as if you had powder, magic and or powder. So it's a way to get around having to find the magic powder. Doomtap will probably end up finding that anyways. But the more important thing right now is that flute that Ruble just found. And it looks like he's just going to completely skip purple chest because he knows that he could just be in go mode. But that counts on both Mire and Desert not completely trolling him out of clearing the seed. Because these are 2 dungeons you can pair together and just blitz right through. But if he needs one of those other items, he's got to go hunting for it. He could very well need both items.
I'm just waiting on the seed where Boots isn't required until Yana's Tower, but Boots is in Yana's Tower.
Yeah. Alright, Ruble is straight off to Mire. He is going to figure out whether or not Mire is Bombos. He can get in if it's anything else.
He's got a 2/3 chance of being good for him.
But he's actually going to check desert first. So let's see. He really needs the big key to not be on the torch, and he needs it to not be locked behind either of these other keys. Unless you find the small key in the chest instead. He wants anything that's not a key on torch, basically.
Oh no!
Nope. We need boots, and he's not happy to know it. Well, it's a good thing he checked that. Because otherwise he would have probably floored it through. What this does mean is he can only check these items on right side and cannot finish the dungeon currently. He will have to come back. And after that, I imagine he'll look at Mire's medallion to make sure this isn't a double screw. And wow, both the items are locked behind that big key too. Oh, that's awful. Well, now he'll go in Mire's shed because he hasn't done that yet. It's time to start looking for some boots. Blue Boom and some more health. We're up to 16 on Ruble.
I mean, Boomerang is close to Boots. Starts the same 3 letters.
Yeah. And the squirrel has been taking a lot of HP up, though. Alright, Doomtap, having found that flute, is also going straight over to Mire. Is going to be met with the same news at Desert. Hi, Buttersword.
Yeah, if you want to remember the easy strat for that room, if you have Mire, just go along the corner, go along the outside.
Yeah. It's not hard to kind of, in a way, I guess, just despawn your way through that room. Ruble's also going to check Agina. I'm surprised he's not looked at Mire's medallion yet. And I don't think Doomtap did either. If he did, I missed it completely.
Yeah, it did almost look like he was like debating, like, do I really need Buttersword or not? But he decided to grab it anyways.
So Doomtap is now going to be met with his news of you need boots. So these two are kind of neck and neck now. A lot of the same stuff checked.
We did get confirmation that Doomtap checked Mire, and it is Ether.
Well, Doomtap does not have that yet. It's up on Death Mountain. But Ruble can go in and clear Mire. But that means it is a one medallion fits all kind of seed. Where are those boots? They can be pretty much anywhere remaining in the game that is not a boots locked location by default.
Like, they can be on Trinex, they can be on Cold Stare.
They can be on the Bombos tablet, and they could very well be on the pedestal. They can also be in the purple chest, because neither one, I think, went to check that after finding the flute.
Good fast opening room there for Ruble.
Yeah. But Doomtap has to vamoose after getting Checkerboard Cave. Because Doomtap needs Ether on its vanilla tablet, and the book is up in the Dark Death Mountain location. Actually, no, it was in Spike Cave. That's even worse. Either way, he needs that book. So Mire only has 2 items in it. It could have boots. It's not likely, though. it'll be interesting to see what route Ruble takes here. So Doomtap is going back up to Dark Death Mountain. He has Dark Death Mountain items now because they're all he's missing here. He came up here way sooner than Ruble did.
Yeah, if he goes on a Turtle Rock, that could be a big play for him.
This is also true.
I'm going to step away for a brief second. I'm going to mute myself.
All right. But yeah, Doom could potentially make up time going into T-Rock, but again, he needs to get the ether off of the ether tablet, which is in the Spike Cave book. Let's hope he remembers to check Spike Cave for the book. And Ruble is attempting here to dodge the worst room in the game in terms of cutscenes, but it looks like he's gonna have to do it anyways, most likely. Well, he's hoping not. The big key he's looking for could still be over here, but if it's in its vanilla location, it's just a bit of a time sink to get. Oh, there it is. And if the big chest over here has the item, he will probably just go to Cold Stare. Not Cold Stare, sorry. Vitreous. Wrong eyeball boss. And then he will probably consider coming back in if it's an item. I don't know, though. It's an interesting thing to think about. I already found the other item already and I missed it. And yet, chat, no one has checked Bombos yet. That is another location the boots could be at. And yeah, Ruble's just going straight to the back. So Doomtap also getting news he did not need to use magic powder. And since he is walking over here, I think he is going to go check Burn Spike Cave. Which is good, because this is exactly where he needs to go. And Ruble making his way towards Vidi. And he does not have those silver arrows that Doomtap found, but a bar sword and a cape, well, he shouldn't have a problem. Because bar sword still tears apart bosses, even Vidi. It's all, unfortunately, it's still a 3 hits to kill, I think, even a small eyeball. So
hey, sorry about that. Had to step away for a second. I'm back.
Yep, welcome back. So Doomtap has his book and is going to go check Ether Tablet now, get his Ether. Ruble going to do Silverless Vidi. Silverless but buttery Vittery, so...
Still very quick. Not as quick as Silver's, but very, very fast regardless.
And going to use arrows to finish him off. This is still typically the fastest, even if you do have Bar Sword. That was another key. I was not paying attention. The chat may have been paying better attention. I don't think Ruble has both items. I think there's still one in the vanilla big key room.
Yeah, he is going right back in for that.
Going right back in confirms that. So that kind of sucks. That's a small time loss for him. It's like the more convenient play for sure, but you really feel bad having to do this either way. Alright, Doomtap gets his Ether, has basically caught up to Ruble on items. Oh, he's not going to Turtle Rock, he's going straight to Mire. So around the time Ruble is done with Cutscene Room, Doomtap will be in Mire trying to get the items within it. So Desert is the obstacle. Boots are the key. The location is unknown.
Yeah, boots are the last thing that they need. So often, not often that you see boots as the go mode item.
Yeah. Oh, Doomtap just remembered he had a mushroom to turn in. I was wondering why he fluted away. Oh, and he also has no magic. Thank you for pointing that one out, chat. That would do it. You can't activate your medallion without magic. So now Doomtap will go deal with Mire. And Ruble's remaining item is a big 20. We are still searching. So if you're Ruble here, where would you go next? Because I know he knows he doesn't have Hobo's item yet either. So maybe he's thinking about checking that first.
Looks like he's going down there. He may end up going into Ice Palace while he's down here as well. I would probably go to Turtle Rock. I would play the odds.
I would have checked Ped by now, just to be sure that the boots weren't there. Because if the boots are there, you have a route. You know exactly where to go. It's a 2-minute check that can save you up to 15, I guess, in this sense, if you know what you're doing. Because full clears take a while, especially Ice Palace. It's one of the longer ones. So Ruble will get his silvers. That is a advantage of Doomtaps brought to even playing field once more. But now it's a choice: Pendant Ice or Pendant T-Rock. And Ruble is deciding Pendant Ice. After checking the island at the very least.
I just try to avoid Ice Palace as much as possible.
And we've waited as long as possible, but he's going to bank on the 3 items in Ice Palace having the boots as opposed to the 5 or 6 that can be in T-Rock with the Mimic K being added to it.
Yeah, Bradley made a good point. If it is Pedestal, you can go mode these 2 dungeons.
Exactly. And Ice Palace is a great dungeon to go mode. T-Rock is not the best dungeon to go mode because it's about the same as a normal trip, but it saves you a little bit of time at least. And that's why I would have checked the Ped by now. Small key, so at least he can get to the right side really easily. And that'll help him with slight convenience on his routing.
Yeah, it's still kind of a pain to do these ice rooms without boots.
Yeah. I guess this is another reminder too. Purple Chest is one of the few other locations that's yet to be checked. And Bombo's Tablet. Which I imagine both runners, if they ever do check those locations, will just pair together.
That double Stalfos Knight kill always feels really good when you're able to pull it off.
Yeah. And it's a really weird coding exploit that room takes advantage of too. It basically the Stalfos are both in the state of the last one that did anything. So if a Stalfos had been knocked onto the ground, both are vulnerable, and if one was getting up, both are invulnerable in a sense, even if it's on the ground. And Ruble did a nice, clean Ice Palace bomb jump there.
Doomtap's going ahead and checking the big key chest over here in Mire. He's going to get 20 rupees for his trouble.
Alright, Ruble finds the big key on the right side for Ice. And there's 2 more items you can get over here that'll be worth his trouble, which would be... It's routed efficiently enough that it's typically worth your trouble to check. No actual items in the dungeon yet, though. He's found only dungeon items, and Doomtap, meanwhile, found the last normal item in the dungeon. But he still needs the big key, so he's got to keep looking. And another big 20.
I feel like all we found are 20 rupees and heart pieces in this
Well,
entire...
they are of very high concentration in the pool. They have like 20 apiece. So it makes sense to find as many of them as you do, but it's annoying when you're looking for one item.
This is around the point in the game where, for me, Randomizer goes from "this is really fun" to "I hate this game."
Yeah, there are basically phases to Randomizer. There's do you want to have a good time, and then there is do you want to go all over the place looking for your last item. And then there's do you want to have Aga, Head, and like other bad stuff. But
There's the
without
boots.
boots, he can leave. So Ice the correct play, and he is now in go mode.
Which, I mean, he's just got to do desert.
Yeah, Desert is all he has left, and he knows where the big key is. Just gonna grab it and go straight for the worms. Well, now we have another interesting question, which is when Doomtap is done with Mire, will he go to Ice? Because if he does
I
choose,
certainly hope he does.
Because if he does choose T-Rock now, he's losing a lot of time.
I mean, the only item that they don't have is the can of Burna and Bombos.
Yep. Neither being all that important. We also did not find half magic, which would have been a convenience, but not required. And yeah, we can't necessarily blame Doomtap if he goes to T-Rock just because it's higher quantity. But it is unfortunately in this case the move that will cost him more time in this race. And will probably cost him the race overall.
Yeah, one thing that I remember hearing somebody say a couple months ago that I really took to heart with this game is that when Randomizer, there's no really good or bad plays. It's just plays that work out, plays that don't.
Yep, either your gamble pays out or it does absolutely nothing. I just noticed Doomtap did the Butter Sword Cape strats even though he had silvers to take out the eyes. I don't know. I wouldn't have done that.
Ruble going to go fight Landmolas, get his final crystal, and then we'll see him make his way up to Death Mountain.
Yep, he will make his final ascent shortly, but he is going to unfortunately miss the Lambos horribly. Well, I did manage to clean it up pretty well. Yeah, I think he did forget he had silvers because of that. He's gonna go check Pyramid Fairy now because he hasn't done that. But yes, Ruble has his 7th crystal and is going to make his way up to GT, which means it's time for that little randomizer game that everybody loves to play. There are... Well, he's got to buy potions first, but I may as well start it off. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, and we'd like to play a little guessing game here on the Link to the Past randomizer as to which chest this big key is located in. If you want to make things more interesting for yourself, you can guess a specific chest. But when we call numbers, it's typically in the traditional order, which is going left side first. You can still guess any number despite that. In terms of my guess this seed, how about Torch? Haven't seen on Torch in a while. Make those boots extra required.
I am going to say it is the double fire bar rune.
Interesting. It was actually in that room the last race I commented on.
I like that we got 3 guesses in, and 2 of them are already number 17.
Yeah, 17 is normally the last chest after the Ice Armos. Or if they go right, well, if they go right, 18 is Bob's chest, and Bob's chest going left first is 14, which there is at least one guess for that. I see Yoko Kurama guessing like 5 numbers here. These are lucky numbers. Alright, Ruble is entering the tower, opening that gate.
See where Doomtap's gonna head to from here. And he is looks like he's gonna go to ice. So the good play from him.
Yep, he will keep up with Ruble here. It is the correct decision in this particular race to go in there and get to Ice Tea Room. Key and arrow expansion. Ruble's got to do right side first. It's a constant debate between people on which of these routes to take, and there's no set in stone variant for this. Everybody does it differently. Some people do left side first, some people do right side if you have the key like this. Some people will just do right side even then if they find it, just to grab a key from the left side. Some people will do the Dark Magician strat where they go to the top left corner and then mirror out and go right. There's so many ways you can do this. And sometimes some of them work better than others.
Ruble probably feels like he's a little bit behind, so he's doing right side first. I'll see if it pays off for him.
He well, oh wow. That was chest number 3. And that means he's going up. So Doom's got to move quick if he's going to catch up here. He needs to get those boots. He's got to get through desert. He's got to get that key, and he's got to go. Most importantly, he has to go right side first. Because Ruble's not going to die. Really, I think the only way that there's problems that can happen at this point is if Ruble were to fall to Ganon. And he'd have to fall, I think, a couple times to even give Doom the chance to catch up. Squirtle just blazing a trail here, even though it's a water type.
And regardless, these are both fantastic runners, and you should really give both of them a follow.
Yeah, they would both appreciate the support if you gave them a follow on Twitch. They put on a pretty good show for us tonight, actually. It's a pretty fun little seed we had here. Like, all things considered, the boosts were the only bad part of this seed. Everything else was great. And Ruble is now in Gauntlet. Getting trolled by Stalfos in the second room as always. This room sucks. And now he's in the third room. Takes care of it pretty fast.
Getting bounced around by Beamos a little bit there.
Yep. Downs the Zizaks in those 2 rooms. Has a red Stalfos and a red Zizak left. That was a pretty good gauntlet overall.
Through and over to Landmola's 2.
Yep. He redeems the desert fight that he just did and takes them all out immediately.
And, Doom's about to pick up his red rupee and then go and grab his boots.
Yeah. Still gonna be a bit before he gets those, sadly, but he does. He hopefully will get them soon. Ruble's now at the cane rooms, gonna efficiency away some whiz robes. Getting bonked by that spike block, though, is gonna make him miss the last whiz robe. Not a big deal, but it is gonna force him to wait a little bit. Okay, Doomtap actually going the wrong way here. I think he may realize that in a moment. You cannot take this path in reverse. The door locks itself behind it when you take it from that particular direction. So he has to fall from above if he wants to go that way. Alright, Ruble is up at the top. He will need key from this mini helm sword. And he did get, so he's just gonna be a Moldorm away from getting to the last fights of the game. Now, both runners fought him earlier. They didn't have to, but they did.
With Butter Sword, it should go pretty quick, just 2 attacks.
Yeah, 2 attacks of any kind, even like a dash into him will take out Moldorm.
And Ruble skipping the last chest of the game.
Yep. I mean, your opponent has not done at this point. You're concerned about how close this race might be, so I can't fault him for not opening it. It's a chest that some runners like to open for fun, regardless of the circumstances. I happen to be one of those. But sometimes you just feel like you have to light a fire and get going. Ruble onto Aga
nice
2.
triple.
Nice triple. That setup looks a lot less friendly. But he still gets
Still
the
got a double out of it. Like, he still did what he could.
Yep, that is as good as that. Oh, actually, the first triple did not count, according to that. Yeah, it only hit him twice because of invincibility frames. Now he's down. Alright, Doom's got his boots. He has got a bolt back over the desert. But Ruble's on Ganon. He does not have much time left.
I think Ruble's done enough Ganon fights that this one should go pretty smoothly for him.
Yeah, 17 max hearts, red mail. And he is just gonna, first off, get through the first phase of Ganon really quickly because Butter Sword only takes 6 hits to progress Ganon through phases 1 and 2. I don't think he was intending to grab onto the torch. I think he was just intending to dodge the fire with the hookshot invincibility, but still works. On to phase 3.
Yep. Tiles are falling. Doomtap about to head into the back of Desert Palace over here.
I don't know what entrance he came in from. Okay, it was that side. He could have mirrored out. I don't think he thought about that. And we did find those areas in the light world. They were left with a very trustworthy man under the bridge.
Ruble getting a torch glitch.
Yep, he was, I think, just barely. The other torch was probably about to go out.
Basically, if you light the left torch before the right torch goes out, the right torch will not extinguish.
I think Ruble's got a double
that
here.
That is done with Ganon. Ruble will be finishing here around a 1:43:37-ish range, but we'll see what the official time is.
Yep. Alright, he has finished with an official Speed Racing TV time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 44 seconds. GG to Ruble.
It's a very good time for getting boots so late.
Yeah, that's a very good time. Doomtap, meanwhile, downs the Lamolas and progresses to the final portion of the game for him, being this hour. So you'll see if Ruble wants to get an interview in just a moment here, taking a quick break after that seed. And Doom is making his way up the tower. So what are we thinking, guys? Is Doomtap going to go right side first, or is he going to take the usual path of left? I suppose who can really say? For his sake, I hope he goes right. I think he will go right, because it's kind of the thing to do right now is go right.
Yeah, this is still going to be a very good time for Doomtap. We definitely don't want to see anybody forfeit here, so he's going to go ahead and finish it out, especially being so close.
Yeah, there's not much seed left for him to do. So he'll be done within easily the next 10 minutes, especially if he goes right side. Okay, it looks like Ruble is available for an interview, and here he is now. GG Ruble, and congrats on winning your race. I don't know if you have a mic set up, but we cannot hear you currently.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I have push to talk on. I keep forgetting to use it when I'm not commentating.
Yep, very important and necessary here as well. So, those boots.
Yeah, the boots.
A very good time for not having boots until your go mode item.
Yeah, I thought this seed led me on a path that was like, it felt optimal. Like I was able to do Palace of Darkness to Eastern Palace. I was able to do Swamp Palace to, Pyramid Fairy, and also the Pyramid, Catfish, Mushroom, Zora, Waterfall Fairy, all of that. So, in fact, like, it actually felt a little bad that I found the flute when I did, because I was gonna walk the purple chest all the way down to near the Bombos tablet, and then I was gonna go into desert.
Yeah, but then you found the flute. It's like, well, I better go check that now.
Yeah.
Would have been bad if the medallion was Bombos as well, because then you would have had to find that too.
Yeah, I don't even think I checked the medallion. Like, I was too annoyed
Yeah.
about the boots to care about the medallion.
And looking at your stream on our end, it looks like the pedestal was Couch Cache. That was another potential location for those boots.
Yeah, I mean, I know Ether was required, but I wasn't happy to see Ether from the Ether tablet. I guess, it was vanilla, huh?
That was vanilla, and it's like, it took me a minute to even realize that. It's like, wait, that's vanilla. What's that doing there? Your opponent is in GT right now, not much left for him to do. He did unfortunately go full left side, so he is going to take a little bit to get that big key. Which
you all were neck and neck for quite a while there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't actually heard of Doomtap until I was paired up with him, and then I went and checked out some of his past broadcasts, and he was pulling some really good times. So I was actually really worried going into this race.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid race. I think the main difference was Doomtap made a very early trip up Death Mountain. So he came up there. He went up there twice, whereas you went up there only once.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to go back up for Ether as well because of where the book was.
Yeah, he went up before he got his hook shot.
Yeah, and then he found Mire's needed Ether before he found it on the mountain.
Did he have boots for a while longer than me?
Nope,
no, that was his.
Well.
That was also his go mode. Which, by the way, the fact that those could have also been in T-Rock. Why did you do Ice before T-Rock in that instance?
Because of Hobo and the Hilly Island. I also didn't check. So
yeah, well, that paid out in spades to Hobo.
Yeah, I was pretty glad to see the silvers there. I mean, I would have liked it to just been boots, but whatever.
Yeah. I guess another topic to talk about. Those Titans mitts were in a location you both could have gotten very early, but both of you put it off because you couldn't do Zora. Are you regretting that a little bit?
Not really. I mean, I saw that and I was thinking, yeah, I could have got this a long time ago, and maybe my opponent did, but it might have also sent them down a wrong path.
That is true. The mitts can lead you very astray sometimes.
And the bow was in such a place that I feel a lot of runners will skip.
amusingly, you both found that without on your own, and Doomtap I think only went over there because he hadn't done the. He didn't have a bomb for the back of escape, so he had to go back and do that anyways.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I made sure to kill as many rats as it took to get a bomb trap.
We were actually talking after you got your bow out of Graveyard Ledge. We were like, oh, Doomtap's not going to go get that until much later because that's one of the last places a lot of people check. And no, he pretty much immediately went there.
Yeah. I mean, I basically will never put off any location that will take longer to get back to, than to get to from where I'm at, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So that, Mire location at the Graveyard Ledge is just... It's a real... Whatever the opposite of a low-hanging fruit is. I guess a high-hanging fruit. Ooh.
Sub 3 minute menu time. Good job there.
Oh, that's the first time I've had that in a while.
And 151 items. Convenient how you're using a Gen 1 Pokemon and get that.
Yeah. I really like the Squirtle spray.
It is pretty well done. It's amusing to watch too.
I was barely sub 3.
Yeah.
See, we have Hippos in the chat who is already ready to go against you here in the next round.
Yeah, Hippo's champing at the bit to face me again after his humiliating defeat the last time.
So yeah, I guess overall, I know you felt like the routing was good. You felt the execution on the sea was pretty good too?
For the most part, Gauntlet could have went better. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I had a trouble with Argus. I think that could have went better, or could have gone better, but I didn't.
Yeah, you did have a Master Sword significantly longer than Doomtap did because he found the Tempered Sword, that third sword up on the mountain.
Yeah, the game just kept giving me stuff that I needed to clear dungeons. Like I'm usually the type of player that will clear reasonable overworld locations before delving into a dungeon.
Yeah.
Typically, but it's like I had everything I needed for the Pod Eastern Palace combo, and then I was going to go down there in the swamp area anyway again, and I got the mirror, or not the mirror, hookshot, yeah, in Palace of Darkness, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to swamp next.
Yep. Both of you ended up doing that. You could have both go-bo at that dungeon, but you ended up doing it anyways because of the quantity of items you could have gotten. So Doomtap here has reached Gauntlet. He's in the third room, having issues with the last of these, Zach. Finally got it. And it's had a relatively clean Gauntlet other than that room. And it looks like this one they got a little away from as well.
Yeah, Doomtap's done a really good job this race. It just got a little bit away from him when trying to find his boots, but other than that, he's done really well.
Now, I do have one question. Did he go into Turtle Rock at all?
Nope.
No, both of you ignored that dungeon, and you both cleared Hera.
Yeah, Hera's a quick clear, and it was Green Pendant, even though I never turned it in.
10 arrows.
It was 10 arrows. He turned it in while you were in Eastern, and at the exact time he turned it in, you got a 10 arrow drop from a Stalfos.
Yeah, just time inconvenience there.
Alright, well, yeah, it was an interesting race. I guess I'm gonna hop off. Doomtap's probably gonna be finishing up here soon.
Yep, we're gonna go ahead and finish up calling his race. But hey, I appreciate you stopping by. Good game on the race. Give Ruble a follow, everybody.
Yeah, and good luck on the next round too.
Thank you.
Doomtap's over in the 4 torch room here.
Yeah, he's got just a little ways to go. He needs to be careful with his somewhat low health bar, though. But should be okay for the remainder. He's got a refill coming in a couple rooms. He is going to need to kill the helm as well for a key.
I think he picked up some potions as well, so he should be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a seed where they got pretty much everything they can get. Doomtap, in particular, I thought he got every item.
Yeah, he found Bombos and Blue Cane on left side. So he found, I think, every major upgrade, because I think he may have all the bottles too.
He does.
So he has left no item unturned, just a few minor drops. Wow, that's the last item in the last chest is pretty upsetting, sadly. Your last chest rupee, you're 1 cent.
It'll be like that dollar bill that businesses hang up as their first purchase.
You can't even put your 2 cents in, you only got 1 cent. Alright, Doom at Aga 2. Aga 2 didn't go too bad for Ruble, so this should be a pretty quick Aga 2 as well for Doomtap.
So Doomtap either got a double or a triple there. We'll see.
Yep, he got a single here. And he did get the triple, so that double will finish it. That is a solid Aga 2. Now to quickly get through Ganon.
Yeah, with butter, full health bar with or full magic bar with half magic, and silvers, it should be. Unless he falls, should be a pretty easy Ganon here.
Oh, I didn't even notice he found that too. Man, he really did find everything. Ganon shouldn't take too long in. Doomtap should still get a very respectable sub 2 on the seed. Barring any happy accidents. Doing spins on Ganon, even though you really don't need to do spins with Butter Sword on Ganon. Just a couple slashes will typically do it. But he's on to phase 3, and I think the teleports might be slightly different from Ruble's, given he took an extra cycle on Ganon's first form. One hit left on this phase. Alright, on to phase 4. Hoping to get that torch glitch. Not
We
quite.
missed it, but
He is going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Torch glitch is nice regardless. It's a lot nicer when you have to do silverless. And he's low on health, so he's going to down a potion. Gonna wait for Ganon to move. And he's trying to set him up for a double. Misses the timing. Gonna get another shot here. Needs to go light torches again. The fact that he's done this in the way he has means the torches are going to be constantly out of sync. But this looks like it should be a double.
yep. Ganon is now. Looks like we're gonna have a sub 2 for Doomtap as well.
And Doomtap has finished with an official Speed Racing TV time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 42 seconds. So just barely sub 2. GG for Doomtap.
Yeah, that was a really good race. Please give both of our runners a follow here, Ruble and Doomtap. You'll see them race some more in this tournament.
Yeah, it was a really good lead-off race for them both. I imagine both will do pretty well in this. We will see if we were able to get Doomtap in here for an interview as well. Alright, looks like Doomtap will decline. He is not going to be available. That being said, that means it's going to be basically the end for us here. As for more races tonight, there's still plenty. With this tournament going on, there are races at pretty much the top of any hour given. And there is one on A Link to the Past Randomizer 1 and another on A Link to the Past Randomizer 3. And those
Yep,
are
I'm about
starting
to go watch one of those myself here.
Yep, they're starting basically right now. And we may also have a race on Speed Gaming 2 to watch as well. Past that, there are races throughout the evening. I don't think any of them at 9 p.m. are being restreamed, but we do have a couple at 10 p.m.
With that said, I want to thank you, Buckshot, for commentating with me. I want to thank Ruble and Doomtap for putting on a good show. Bradley for being our restreamer.
And shout out to Yoko for being our tracker.
Yeah, very good job for all of y'all around. But yeah, we're going to say goodnight. Hope you all have a good night and watch some more of these races.
Yep, and we will see you next time.